Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams here on Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network. And of course, you can subscribe to the podcast network by going to Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio.com, Stitcher, TuneIn, as well as the Google Podcast app. You can always find me on Digital25 on Twitter as well. So make sure you subscribe to the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network to hear great interviews, recaps, play-by-play, and great notes, Beltway Boxing News and Notes. And this is a special report on Beltway Boxing News and Notes. I'm not going to go with the sponsors this time around because I just wanted to spend a short time celebrating our latest Beltway Boxing World Champion. Her name, the heavy-hitting diva, Franchon Cruz Dezurn. And I'm going to talk about the bout first, then I'll kind of reflect on what this means and how we got to this point as far as Franchon is concerned and how important this is. And there's some personal importance for it as well for me as well. Thursday night, September 13th at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, the Joint in Las Vegas, Nevada, Franchon Cruz Dezurn won the vacant WBC Super Middleweight Championship. Now, originally supposed to be the interim championship, but apparently Clarissa Shields gave up the title. So this became a vacant world title and an actual, real world title, so to speak, for lack of a better term. In this situation for her against her opponent, Maricela La Diva Conejo of Los Angeles, California. And the bout was nationally televised by ESPN2. The bout really went Franchon's way pretty much from the fifth round on. Some would probably say early because she definitely did start off offensively to begin the bout. But in the fifth round, she went down to the body and just took everything out of Conejo. She really did. Conejo complained of back spasms throughout the bout. Her legs did not work well. So, I don't think that taints the victory by any means for Franchon Cruz Dezurn. But I just think that a lot of it was because Dezurn was so powerful. I mean, I don't think Conejo thought Dezurn was so big as she is. I mean, she's just taller. She has good size. She uses her height pretty well. And she got down to the body extremely well in the bout. And once she got to the body, it was all she wrote pretty much. Now, it was a 10-round majority decision. How in the world? And again, when I see judges' scorecards like this one, like Patricia Morse-Jarman, who has been around a long time. She's a well-known judge in Las Vegas, has been a judge in many world championship fights. You start to wonder whether my good buddy George Hansen out of Philadelphia talks about drug testing for judges. When you see a scorecard like this one, you wonder how long, she should still be in the game, so to speak. But Jarman somehow had about even 95-95. And to show you how bad that was, the other two judges, Dave Moretti and Tim Cheatham, both had about the same 99-91. So something was up. I mean, I don't want to say any corruption or anything like that. Now, granted, Conejo is a Golden Boy boxer. But Franchon Cruz Dezurn dominated that bout. Pure and simple. You look at all the stats. I know the judges don't have any kind of way of seeing what the stats are with the power punches and jabs and all that. But you can see with your own two eyes that Franchon Cruz Dezurn was dominant in that bout. I mean, it's just obvious. And to even scare boxers into thinking you might not win that bout was ridiculous. And Patricia Morse-Jarman needs to really get checked again to see if she should still do this, in my personal opinion. But the right person won. And you look at Franchon Cruz, 17 times she was a national champion in the amateurs. She was an alternate on the 2012 and 2016 U.S. Olympic team. But it just took 5 bouts for her to get to be a pro world champion. So, again, congratulations to Franchon Cruz Dezurn. And it was, it takes me back to some of the many conversations I've had with her over the years. And I wondered whether this would get to this point, whether or not she would even get to this point. I've always thought that Franchon Cruz Dezurn would be a woman that could revolutionize the women's game. There's something so different about her when compared to a lot of other boxers. And it's not only what she does in the ring, what she has done in the ring, but it's also the person that she is outside the ring. I mean, there's so many great layers to her story. I mean, her mother passing away shortly after she really got into this business. Again, her amateur exploits, which have been, many times legendary. I had the honor of seeing her many times as an amateur, including at the Olympic trials. I saw her at the Olympic trials in 2015, going into 2016. The fact that she once tried out for American Idol. The fact that she is a great singer. And many times sang the national anthem and the black national anthem, lift their voice and sing at many Beltway boxing events. The fact that she's married to a boxer. Glenn Dezurn Jr. is her husband, for those who don't know. And they train together, they spar together. All that are just tremendous layers to her story. And with the glamour that she has, 'cause she is a very attractive woman, and her ability that she has, the way I know she speaks a couple of different languages, I think too. I think I remember one time when Umar got a visit from a delegation from Colombia about the Umar boxing program in Baltimore. Franchon Cruz Dezurn, Franchon helped out Marvin McDowell by being able to translate in Spanish for the delegation. So there's so many great layers to her story, and she is so different from any other boxer, including the likes of Clarissa Shields. I mean, they're great story with her too, but there is definitely tragedy in her story with the passing of her mom. But for Franchon, there's also a lot of things that are just so wonderful in her life. And if she didn't want to box, there's no question in my mind she would be successful. She's an entrepreneur as well. And somewhere along the line, she'd be successful. There's no question about that in my mind. And I know, because I've talked to her about it, there have been times where she didn't want to do this anymore. I wondered whether or not she would turn pro after her amateur days. Because there were so few opportunities for women in boxing as opposed to the men. I think a lot of that is changing. It's still not where it should be, but I think there are some changes. And now Franchon Cruz Dezurn is in the position to make some of those changes happen herself. Now, I thought she was with Salida Promotions. Apparently, she may not be with them anymore, Dimitri Salida Promotions. But depending on what kind of opportunity she gets, whether or not that means a rematch with Clarissa Shields somewhere along the line, because apparently she said she was kind of rushed into that opportunity with Clarissa Shields when she made a pro debut and lost that 4-round unanimous decision. And that's another thing, going back to the fight real quickly. Franchon Cruz had never gone 10 rounds before in her life. And she handled it with such ease. It was unbelievable how well she handled that 10 rounds. So I need to point that out as well. But the impact that Franchon Cruz Dezurn can make in this business, she can enact a lot of change in this business for women. I really do believe that. And winning this world title will help her really get that change going. And from a personal standpoint, I am so proud of her. I really am. I'm really proud of her. It was a long road to get to this point. And again, we weren't sure that we would actually get to this point. but it's an amazing point for her. And I really am proud of her. So congratulations to the brand new WBC super middleweight champion of the world. She's the heavy hitting diva, Franchon Cruz Dezurn. Now, personally for me, this is a milestone of sorts. Franchon Cruz Dezurn is now the 20th world champion that I have covered in the Beltway since I started 35 years ago. She's the 6th Beltway female to win a world title, joining Isra Gergera, who is in the DC Boxing Hall of Fame. Lisa Foster Cohen, who I'm thinking, and I'm not sure yet, but I'm hearing rumors that she might go to the Hall of Fame finally this time around. And then, of course, Tori Nelson, Jennifer Salinas, and Tyreshia Douglas. That's a who's who, as far as women's concerned. She's also the latest Beltway boxer that I followed from the amateurs to a world title, joining the likes of Lamont Peterson, Gervonta Davis, Jared Hurd, Gary Russell Jr. That's a pretty big group right there in of his own right. And I really do believe that somewhere along the line, if given a good opportunity, with good sponsorship, hopefully good promoters, Franchon Cruz can revolutionize the women's boxing game. So I'm really hoping you do that. So I just wanted to point out a very brief podcast celebrating Franchon Cruz Dezurn's victory over Marcela Conejo. That was on Thursday night, September 13th, from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, coming up next couple of weeks, of course, we have big bouts tonight. Friday, David Grayton against Terrell Williams. Shinsuke Tazabai, he's facing a new boxer, Justin Johnson. And also Keyshawn Williams against Farhad Fatullah. You can see that live on Facebook Live. That's on Fight Night Live on their page. So you can go on and see the live stream of that. It begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, don't forget, Saturday, September 22nd, we'll be at the A.C. Jordan Arena on the campus of Bowie State University for the Shabazz Brothers and Real Deal Promotions card. That card kind of still in flux. We haven't seen a lot of updates on that. Hopefully in the next week or so, we'll give you a full card preview of that one. Also try to give you a full card preview of the TAC Promotions card that's going to be held at the ABC Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. And then on Saturday, September 29th, it'll be the Signation Boxing card that'll be held at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. We'll talk more about that in the next week or so. So that'll do it here for a very brief special edition of Beltway Boxing News and Notes. Again, we celebrate the brand new WBC Super Middleweight Champion, the heavy-hitting diva, Franchon Cruz Dezurn. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Gary Digit Williams. Always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.